Okay, this is the third part of the Exam 1 practice test review. We're starting with 13 part C. F of x equals 1 over x, and we're trying to find the derivative based on the definition. So we want the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. That is the limit as h goes to 0 of 1 over x plus h minus 1 over x all over h, which is the limit as h goes to 0. Now I want to get a common denominator on the numerator here, so I'm going to do 1 over x plus h times x over x minus 1 over x times x plus h over x plus h over h. This is the limit as h goes to 0 of x over x times x plus h minus x plus h over x times x plus h all over h, which is the limit as h goes to 0 of x minus, can't write up there, x minus h over x times x plus h all over h. My x and my minus x cancel, so I get negative h over x times x plus h all over h, which is the limit as h goes to 0 of, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator, so times 1 over h. Now it's clear that my h's cancel, so I get the limit as h goes to 0 of negative 1 over x times x plus h. Now I can plug in my h, so I do, and I get negative 1 over x times x plus 0, which is just negative 1 over x squared. Moving to the next page. Derivatives. Okay, differentiating. This first one is just a polynomial. So we have f prime of x equals, the 3 gets multiplied in front, so 3 halves x squared minus 4x plus 7. For the second one, it'll help to remember that square root of t is the same thing as t to the 1/2. So I get g prime of t is 1/2 t to the negative 1/2 minus 2. This is fine, or I could write 1 over 2 root t minus 2. For part C, this is just another simple power one. We get negative 8/9 x to the 8/9 minus 1, which is minus 1/9. So 8/9 minus 1, that's 8/9 minus 9/9. That's 8 minus 9 over 9, which is negative 1/9. For part D, we have the cube root of u. That's the same as u to the 1/3. So c prime of u is going to be 1/3 u to the negative 2/3. Okay, this one calls on us to use the product rule. I'm going to call this one f. Well, I'm not going to call it f because that's what my real function is called. Let me call it triangle, and I'll call this one square. And the product rule tells me that f prime is triangle square prime plus square triangle prime. So let me work out what these are. Triangle prime is 2x minus 7, and box prime is 2 plus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. That's just scratch work. So my f prime of x is the first guy, x squared minus 7x plus 3 times the derivative of the second guy. So that's 2 plus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 plus, sorry I ran out of space here, I'll try to put more space on the real exam. The second guy, 2x plus root x times the derivative of the first guy, which is 2x minus 7. The directions said don't simplify, so I'm not going to go any further at all. Okay, number 16 is a quotient rule. So we write this as, here's the numerator, here's the denominator. So the quotient rule tells me that g prime is high d low. So n, nope, that doesn't rhyme. Low d high, so d n prime, minus high d low, n d prime. Square the bottom, and there you go. So my n prime is 2t minus 2. My d prime is 6, so this isn't too bad. Now I can write my whole thing. G prime of x is dn prime, so 6t minus 1/2 times 2t minus 2 minus n, t squared minus 2t plus 11 times d prime, which is 6, all over d squared, so that's 6t minus 1/2 squared. I wasn't supposed to simplify, so I'm not gonna. That's done. Okay, next page. I have this formula for f of x, and I want the equation of the tangent line to the function at x equals 1. So my first step is I'm going to differentiate. So I have f prime of x is 1.6x cubed minus 0.4x plus 1. For my second step, I want to find f prime of 1, so I'm going to plug in a 1. F prime of 1 is 1.6 times 1 cubed minus 0.4 times 1 plus 1. That's 1.6 minus 0.4 plus 1. So that is 2.2. Now I need to know what my point is. This is my slope m. I need to know my point, so I need to plug 1 into the original function. F of 1 is 0.4 times 1 to the 4th minus 0.2 times 1 squared plus 1 minus 1. So that is 0.4 minus 0.2, which is 0.2. So my point on the original function is 1, comma 0.2. So using my slope here and my point here, I'm going to call this x naught and this y naught, and I'm going to use my formula y minus y naught equals m times x minus x naught. So I have y minus 0.2 equals 2.2 times x minus 1. That gives me y equals 2.2x minus 2.2. I added 0.2 to both sides here, so plus 0.2. So I get y equals 2.2x minus 2. Part B tells me to graph the function and the tangent line on my graphing calculator and sketch the graph here. So let me zoom up so I can see both. And let me pull up my calculator. Alright, I'm going to go to y equals after I turn my calculator on. I'm going to go to y equals and put in my first function. That is 0.4x to the fourth minus 0.2x squared plus x minus 1. And now I want to put in my tangent line. That's 2.2x minus 2. Just make sure that's all right. It's good to me, and I'm going to click Graph. Hope for the best. There's my function. There's my tangent line. Alright, that's plenty of precision for drawing. So I'm going to go over here to my blank graph. Notice there's no numbers on the graph, so you don't have to worry about that. Function looks like it has a little divot, so I'm going to draw it like this. Little divot. And then I had a tangent line that went something like this. That's all I want to see on this problem. That is the end of part 3.